So hi guys, this is a video on how to put a dash cam in Volkswagen Polo. This 2020 Volkswagen Polo. Nice little car, perfect little car. Anyway, always handy to have a dash cam in a car, so we're getting one put in this one. So using one of these Xiaomi dash cams, it's a pretty good dash cam. I'm pretty happy with that. I've used a few of them. Got a Hardwire kit I've bought with it. That's going to make the job a lot easier. And then all these little fuse jumper little widgets that likewise will make it easier to wire this thing up. Okay guys, so I'm going to put the dash cam in this car. I'm going to put it around the back, just around the back of the rear view mirror here. I'm going to run the wire along, hopefully along the back here, run it down behind this post, and then I'm going to run it down around the back here, and I'm going to run it down through there and into this fuse box area here. Okay, so I've got my dash cam, new dash cam got out of the box. Just put that on here for the time being. Got the wiring from it. There it is. Then wire. Here's the rear dash cam. Be putting on. This is the, what is that? That is the, so that's the cable, the long cable in order to wire the dash cam from the back to the front. So I need that. There. Here's the next cable. This is the cable which plugs it up to your power. That's if you want to use it. That's the cable that you're going to be using if you're plugging this into your cigarette lighter area. I'm not going to be using that because I'm going to be using the hard wiring kit, so I can ignore that. And that's what I just need to use, this hard wiring kit. There's the instructions. It's all pretty straightforward. So that's the kit I'm going to be using, so that needs to be wired all the way up and into the back of there. That's what I'm going to be plugging into my fuses. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so to get this piece off, so we need this piece off so we can get behind here. Super easy. It just clips straight out. Just wedge around there, and you can see, you can hear that came out super easy. That's the first piece. First couple of clips. There's a clip here, clip here, clip here, and clip here. So we've got those first ones. Just get this around here. I say it's easy, but it's not easy if you're doing it with one hand. Or it is flipped straight off. So it's easy as that, just comes straight off. And you can see, that's what it looks like. Just those little clips there. Comes off super easy. So one that off so we can get all the wires down. Okay, so to access your fuses, just in your driver's side, it's really easy. There's a clip, there's a clip here, and there's a clip here, and then there's like a lever piece here. So don't pull it from that side. Just get your hand around the back there and pull it. It's easy as that. So you can see that came off easy. And look, there's the little piece that goes in there. There's a little piece that goes in there, and it just clips in. So you can see there, and there's the two clips. Easy as that. And then that has access to all your fuses. Okay, so guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take this panel off here. This is a bit of it's not hard, but it's faffy to do this. There's essentially three clips holding this thing in. There's a clip here, there's a clip here, and there's a clip here. And you've got to essentially just pull this thing out, but it's tight. It's tight as anything when you want to pull this out. So use, you know, some of these little tools that you can get to take trim pieces off are useful. So this is like a interior trim piece tool. So when you pull this out, so you got to pull the sides off, pull it up, and you can pull that out. Pull the first one out here. There's a second one here. And there's a third one. Third one here. So first, second. Okay, pull that one off. And then this thing now will just pull out. There's this little piece of trim here. If you pull that piece of trim out, it makes the job a little bit easier. And just pull this piece of rubber off. That makes the job a little bit easier as well to get that piece out. Otherwise it's a little bit tight. And you can see this thing just clips into there. Okay, so just a bit of a recap. So here you can see I've taken the piece off. I've not fully taken it out. You can see the 3 bits that are holding it in. So you can see the 3 bits that are holding it in. There's like the little clip there, clip here, and a clip here. So there's the 3 clips, and they literally go here, here, and here. So they're the 3 clips that hold this thing in. So I'll need to pull these things out, push them back in here so that I can get this back on. You can see there's the speaker there, so that's why I haven't disconnected it. I've just left it to the side there because I don't need to disconnect that speaker. Okay, so to get these things back out so I can put them back in for later, use this little tool, pull it straight out, super easy. The same on this one, put it behind it. And they just, then they will pull out. Yeah, that wasn't as easy, was it? You can see that's why it's so tricky to get these things out, because they're so tight. Okay, so I'm going to take a few bits off. So to get the dash cam, all the wiring in, it's going to be a lot easier if I take this thing out. So to take this thing out, take this top thing out here. So you just need one of these little plastic tools, trim removal tools. Get it behind the back of that. It's easy as that. And that little piece comes off. See that in there. There's a couple of screws in there, and I'll need to take this piece off here. Come out the same. Yeah, just get the piece around the back of it. Flips out. Do the same around here. See, it's a little bit faffy doing this. A little bit fiddly. There we go. Then it just clips out. Okay, so one other bit, you've got to take this little black piece out as well. So the best thing to do this is with one of these little tools. So you just get it, put it in the little corners. And lever it down. So I've got one side there. Do the other there. You got the top bit done. Bottom bit. Last one. Fingers crossed. There you go. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now with that there, you can take the screws because there's 4 screws now holding that in. Okay, so here are the screws holding in it. So there's that screw there, that screw there, screw there, and screw there. Probably would have been easier if I used a screwdriver on this instead of this little wrench, but that's fine as long as I get them out. There we go, they're out. Okay. Okay. Things out. Leave that hanging there. There we go, that's going to give me a lot more room now to play around and move those wires. Okay, so I'm going to be wiring the cable, shoving it in through here, pulling it through, and then wiring it up through, literally wiring it up back around the back of this post. There we go, get it in, wiring up to there, and then it's going to be going around the back, just up through here, and then pulling out through there. So I'm going to use a few zip ties to hold this wire in place. So fit it through there. There's another wire around here. I'm just going to zip tie it to that to keep it tight, and so that it won't fall out. And this just needs running around the back of here. We don't want to see any of these wires. Okay, there we go, that is hidden around the back there, that bit. See this last bit around here? There we go, it's hidden. And there we go, fully in there. It's good. So that wire cannot be seen. Okay, so I'm just going to zip tie all of these wires in place. Zip tie it and keep it nice and tidy so that they're just held onto all the other wires. So get it around the back here, just makes it nice and clean and tidy, stops anything from ever moving. Get them all tidy, nice and clean around the back. A couple more to go. Okay, so that's in there. And all those wires are now in place. You can see it's stinking hot here, sweating crazily. Okay, so let's fit this dash cam to the windscreen now. Give it a good clean first. Okay, so I'm going to put it back there, which is nicely hidden away behind. It'll be perfect there. So I'll take this. Looks pretty good there. Happy with that. That is good. It's nice and tidy. Okay, so that's now fitted in. We can make sure that these wires are perfectly clean and tidy so you don't see them. Looking good. Okay, so now next job is just to get all this paneling back in. So get this pushed in over here. All this hidden back in. Push that in there. Push push it in. This is usually always a bit fiddly as you get these in the right space. It's about right there. There's just no need slipping in. There we go. There we go. That's clipped back in nicely. Okay. Now ready just to put all the other trim on. Okay, so I need to get the wire ready for the back rear cam now. So what I'm using is this long piece of plastic. You get these from electricians, and what I've done is I've just pushed it up through there, pushed it in, and pushed it all the way back to the back of the car. So I would push that in, and you can see, here it is. It came out perfectly here for where I want my dash cam. So all I now need to do is strap my wire to the end of that and pull it through. So I'll do that, I'll strap it on and pull it through. Okay, so I've got the plastic, I've got the piece of cable that I need to pull through, strapped it to it, and now all I need to do is push it through. So if I carefully push this through, well, I'll go to the back of the car now and pull this through, and this should pull that wire through. You can see it, you see it coming through as I pull it, pulling it, and there it goes. There's the wire. Slowly pulling it through. Slowly pulling it through. And there it is, the wire's come through. It's as easy as that. So the wire's through and it's all ready. Perfect. So guys, as you can see, I've put the dash cam here. I've attached it to this little piece of plastic, which looks a bit dodgy, but let's come back to that. The other alternative is if I ran the wire across, pulled it through here, it then would go into this metal piece here. So I'd have to somehow get the piece of wire and get it along here and then put it behind here somehow, which means the dash cam would be really low, which is not really where you want it, because you want it around here at the top. But there's nothing around here that I can push it to. There's nothing really at all that I can attach it to without it looking a bit dodgy. So you can see I've just put it like a piece of plastic here, which looks a little bit dodgy and rough. So what I'm going to do is, this is just a piece of plastic that I got and I just cut it to size. I've just temporarily attached it there, so it's going to be in place temporarily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plastic out and then I'm going to spray paint it black, sand down the edges a little bit so it just looks a little bit tidy and it looks like it should be there. And that'll be a good way of just tidying that thing up. Okay, so the next job is, this is all the excess wire from the rear dash cam. So you can see I've just tightened it all up, put a zip tie around it, and then I can put it around the back there. Once I've done that, I will zip tie it to here. I'll zip tie it to those wires as well there, just so it never moves around, it's all tidy. And then you can see the other side. It's nice and cleanly just done around the back there, hidden around that. So what I'll do is I'll quickly zip tie that up to keep that super tight, and then it's time to get this last thing back on, and then we're pretty much finished. Okay, right, that's all zip tied back in place. Now it's time just to get this thing back on. Which way does it go? Here we go, it goes this way. So it goes back there. Need to get these screws back in place. Now it's ready to get these cables connected back in. Okay, so get the cables back in. before I clip that in. Make sure I've fully tightened this up right. So I'll do that before I do anything more. Okay, so that's all tightened up. Let's push this back in place. Perfect. There we go. They're all working nicely. Now let's put the last trim piece on. Light cover. Here it is. It should just clip in. And the cover on this piece there. Yeah. Keys to put in the bottom bit first. There we go, that's on. Okay, so it's now time just to get these little plastic clip trim pieces in. Little edge there, you can see, I don't know if you can see that. It's the edge piece there that needs to go at the back. So it's easier just to, you could put the bottom piece in first, put it in like that, and then push it in. A bit fiddly. There we go, that's goes in there. Next, get this one. There we go. Goes in there. The rubber's correctly around it. That's in place. And the rubber's fully round. Pretty much done. There we go. That bit's now in. Okay, so as you can see, this is where I'm going to be wiring it into. So I've taken the piece off here. Okay guys, so you can see the fuses there. So I'm going to be wiring it into, you can see there's a red and a green fuse there, and in between there's a blank spot. I'm going to be wiring it into that blank spot there, so that's where I'm going to be putting it in. And then just to the right of that red 40 amp fuse, there's a 20 amp and a 30 amp fuse. That 30 amp fuse is the fuse for the that's for the USB and the cigarette lighter. So that'll be the power which comes on when you turn the engine on. So that's going to be the accessory fuse. So that's where I'm going to be wiring the other power cable up. And then I'm going to be wiring up the negative just onto that bolt there. Make it right nice and easy. Okay, so it's time now to wire up my negative to this. I found a little nut which will work perfect, so I don't even have to take this off. I can literally just put this other nut on and I will run the negative wire under that, which will work perfect. So I'll just put these, get my negative wire. Put it. And I'm going to push that through there, put that under there, and tighten that up. So I'll just tighten that up, and that one is the negative. Okay, so we'll now put the fuse cover back on, put it in place, exactly the same as when we took it off earlier. Put it on, push it in, super easy. Okay, now let's get this little plastic piece back on. So that plastic piece, you can see, just fits on perfectly there, and super easy to put back on. So just clip it straight back in. So comes out, comes on, goes back on, as easy as that. So there you have it, guys. That's how to fit a front and rear dash cam to a Volkswagen Polo. It's, as you can tell, wasn't a hard job, wasn't an easy job. It's just always just a little bit fiddly. I mean, it'll take you about an hour, 2 hours maybe. You do it yourself, you're going to save yourself a few $100s, you know, $200, $300, maybe even $400 fitting fee. Because if if you pay for someone to do it, they're going to charge you for their time, and they're not going to be cheap. So do it yourself, and it's not too hard. You know, you can definitely do it yourself. The tools that you need for the job, it's not a lot, really, is it? So I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for tuning in.